Hi everybody, nice to see you. You'll be cooking with Jeff today. Today we've got something extra special for you. We'll be doing a prime rib encrusted in salt. It's going to be quite amazing. We're also going to infuse a beer, which is really going to pull out a lot of those juices. It's going to be an unbelievable piece of beef we're going to do today. So let's get this rolling. The first thing you're going to want to do is put together a checklist of all the things you're going to need. The first thing you're going to want is salt. I've got 3 boxes of salt here. I'm using an ice cream salt. A lot of people like to use kosher salt. I think either one is fine. The idea is to get this piece of beef covered in salt so we can lock in all that moisture. You're also going to want a beer. I'm using a porter. I would recommend a Guinness. Guinness cooks very well in beef. I also have bacon. I have rosemary. I have a Dutch oven, and I have this beautiful piece of meat. So let's talk about this monster piece of meat. This is 9 pounds of premium prime rib. This is the best of the best, and I highly recommend this is what you use. If you're going to cook something like this, you might as well go for the best, and we're using the best. I've seen this for sometimes $9 at Costco. Typically, if you go to a butcher, it's upwards of $15 or $16 a pound. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lay a layer of salt. I've got a Dutch pan here. Most any pan will work. You do want it a smaller pan so that when you cover it all in salt, you can cover the meat completely. So there you go. You just want to lay a layer. Get it spread out there on the bottom. Should look like that. So you're going to want to go ahead and just put this in bone side down. Put it right on top of that rock salt there. Look at that. That's beautiful. Now, we're going to want to infuse this with our porter. I've got a Guinness porter here. Go ahead and pour that into a glass there. Get it all in there. And you're going to want your infusion system. I've got just a basic little infusion system here. You can pick this up at most grocery stores. And you're just going to draw up this beer. And you're going to inject this entire beer into this roast. Look at that. Yeah, now you just go ahead and infuse that. Pick different locations. You can go deeper on some spots. You can go more shallow in some spots. But you want to get an entire beer infused into this. So now we have all of our beer infused to this piece of meat. Let's go ahead and move on. Next, we're going to want to take this rosemary. Go ahead and just spread that rosemary over the top of this meat. Like this. There you go. The next thing you're going to want to do is cover all that rosemary with your bacon. Go ahead and just take the slices and put it right over the top, just like this. Beautiful bacon. There's nothing like beautiful bacon. And you just get all of those little rosemaries covered up, like so. The bacon is really going to enhance the flavor of this roast. Now we're completely covered, and it should look something like that. Okay, now moving on. The next thing you're going to want to do is take your rock salt. Go ahead and open up those boxes and start filling in the spaces within the pan. Yeah, just get it all in there. Get the entire piece of meat surrounded by the salt. Salt is your friend. You might think that it's going to be a really salty piece of meat, but the truth is that it locks in the moisture. The meat itself doesn't become as salty as you'd think. That's the secret. So just continue to fill in all of those spaces. Get the bacon covered. Just get the entire piece of meat encrusted. It's a little bit of a mess. I'm sure other people will be a lot cleaner at this than I am. But we're trying. There you go. Now, it should look like that. There you go. So the last thing you're going to want to do is take some tin foil and just cover the top with this. I don't like to use the lid on these things because too much heat within the pan itself may overdo the piece of meat. So just use tin foil. Slightly get it covered. And there you go. Now you're going to want to grab your meat thermometer. Go ahead and stick that baby in there and be careful not to hit a bone. A bone can give you a false reading. We don't want that. We're looking for 120, folks. 120 degrees and this baby is done. So now we're going to go ahead and put this baby into the oven. Remember, we preheated at 450 quite a while ago, so the oven should be ready. The first thing we're going to do is cook this at 10 minutes at 450 degrees. After 10 minutes, go ahead and cut that oven back to 250 degrees and make sure that you cook it 20 minutes for each pound. So this particular roast is 9 pounds. We're looking at about 180 minutes, which is about 3 hours. So we'll see you in 3 hours. All right, well, we're back. It's been cooking for 3 hours now, and it's time to see what this baby has done. I'm going to take off the top here and start to clear away some of this rock salt. This is going to be a bit messy, and there's probably other ways that you could do this, but we are going to move this rock salt around, get the forks into this guy. Okay, so we're back, and we've let this rest for 10 to 15 minutes, and now it's time to get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is peel off all of this bacon. Pull this down, get it all off, pull off all that rosemary. Wow, this is looking pretty amazing. We're going to move back this string here so we can cut into it. And we're going to take our first cut. Oh, goodness sakes. Look at this. Look at this. We have a beautiful prime rib steak right there. Just look at those juices. Now to taste it. Oh, this is just how I like it. Okay, well, here it is. Your prime rib. Enjoy.